let's get into some what ifs. What if we do trust? Or what if we don't trust? What are the outcomes? What can happen? What are the results? Let's check it out. There is great strength, okay? Great strength in real friendship and relationship, okay? There's positive when we place our trust correctly. God can work great things through people. God doesn't say you can't trust people and only trust Him. He just says that where you place your trust has an effect. And if you're drawing strength and you're turning away from God to go put your trust and try to get your fulfillment in other people, you have to understand that those people may not be able to meet the needs that you have. People and things have an opportunity to be there for you in positive and helpful ways. But also remember that when we leave God out of our most important relationships, we tend to expect those relationships to meet needs in us that only God can meet. It's not about just don't trust people, only trust God. No, there's some beautiful outcomes that you can have, like we just talked about. They have ability to be able to help you. And you trust is a gift. Like, you can't do it alone. You have to trust. Like, you have to take the risk. Otherwise, you'll never know, and you'll be alone, and you'll be just lonely forever. And that's not fun for anyone. You know, even people that love to be alone still want to feel encouraged, still want to feel loved, still want to be trusted and feel like they can trust someone else. And it's so special. Like I said before, like, you have that comfort and security that someone has your back. You know that they have their character and it's been consistent, and you trust in them, and there's something so beautiful about it, right? And there's just different levels, right? You don't have to give everything of yourself to trust. You can just give a piece and trust, a little piece and trust here, or you give all of yourself. But just know that when you're giving your all of yourself, you have to protect it as well and understand the other side. Can they hold it, right? The whole picture of the wine glass having a crack in it. Can they hold the valuable, precious thing in your life, which is your trust, okay? Because you put yourself in a vulnerable place. What if you trust God, okay? Some of the things I put down is you give Him the opportunity to give you what people and things cannot, okay? If you've never trusted God before, then, you know, maybe just try. See what happens. Understand that when you trust, like, you're taking a risk. You're trying to find out. You're trying to get to know someone. You know, check out and see, like, you know, what is God's character? Like, I haven't been trusting Him because I don't really know anything about Him. So I'm just not going to. But what if you did? What if you did start to learn, like, wow, His character is pretty consistent. He's the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And yeah, I think I can try and put my trust in Him one time and see where that gets you. And genuinely, you know, see what the outcome is. Because you're guaranteed consistency. That's another point I put here. And you're able to draw strength from Him and help the needs of others because of that strength. And God can be trusted even if we can't predict the outcome because of the character. So when you go and search and you're like, wow, God really is the same. He's the same in the Old Testament as He's the same in the New Testament. He's the same all the time. That's who He is. It's His character. And so it's just special, okay? What if you don't trust, okay? People, places, things, God. What if you don't trust? You'll never know God or anyone else. You'll be forced to have all the weight on your own shoulders. Pride will keep your heart cold and keep you away from God and people. It'll just cause you to distance yourself. You'll have no outside of yourself strength to draw from. So all you got is yourself. So when your strength runs out, what do you do? That's why trust is a gift. Even though it takes vulnerability, even though it takes a risk, even though it takes awareness, it's a gift. And you can't, like, I understand that you can kind of give yourself a gift and you can kind of receive a gift from yourself, but it's just not the same. When you get a gift from someone else, it's just special. And when you give to someone else and you see the expression on their faces, that's special. And trust is so valuable and precious that when you give it, that's pretty special. And when you receive it from someone else, that's pretty special, because you know the weight behind it. And I hope that now you understand the weight behind it if you didn't already. Don't miss out on real and close connection because you decide, I'm not gonna trust. I've been hurt. I'm not gonna trust. I've been betrayed. I'm not gonna trust anymore. And because of something else, everyone else has to deal with that. That's not necessarily fair. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. And you go about it the way you want to, right? The bush or the tree is all up to thee. So no one can tell you anything. You make your choices. And so just know that if you do trust, if you don't trust, there is different outcomes, there is different results in that. And just be aware of that and start to dive deeper in your own life about those things. Just a few things to think about as we continue to get to the end of this series. And like my pastor always says, let's get ready to land this plane. Understand that people and things are subject to change, and you should already know the risk when placing your trust in them. Weigh the risk and how much responsibility you are potentially placing on that person or thing. Ask yourself, there's these two questions. Will they or it unfailingly provide what I am looking for? The second one, am I depending on them or it to do what only God can do? People and things are questionable, but culture will say you can't trust people. They'll hurt you. But God would say you can't trust the lie that all people will hurt you. The wrong people will hurt you. The right people will heal you. If you come to a crossroads and have to choose God. Choose to be the tree. Choose to be blessed. God is completely trustworthy. A few scriptures to understand why I feel so confident in that. 1 Samuel 15:29. He does not lie or change his mind. Hebrews 13:8. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. That complete confidence, right? Trust is complete confidence. That complete confidence hits differently when it's placed in someone who is always the same and never changes. Guaranteed consistency. We can't understand it all, but we can trust that God understands it all. Remember, it's all about character. When you know God's character, trusting in Him isn't a risk at all. Romans 15:13. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in Him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Proverbs 3:5-8. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all of your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your paths. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and depart from evil. It will be health to your flesh and strength to your bones. The bush or the tree is all up to thee. Don't go around placing your trust carelessly. Where you place your trust determines a lot more than you think. you place it wrong and it quickly begins to shrink. So I ask the question, is your trust misplaced? Because once it's placed, it can't be erased. The bush or the tree is all up to thee. Don't go around placing your trust carelessly